Hi, my name is Peter, and I'm going to walk you through how to acquire numbers through Microsoft for use inside of Dynamics Contact Center. So here you see that I'm still logged into the Copilot Service Admin Center. And to get to the phone numbers, we'll go to channels. And mind, we already set up ACS, right? We already set up Azure Communication Services. So now we can connect numbers to it. So there's basically two ways of using voice and telephony numbers in Dynamics, either through purchasing the numbers through Microsoft, or you can port them in. We have direct routing, we have the Teams Unified solution, and we have, well, getting the numbers through direct routing. So let's go and continue with the first option of those. In this video, we're just going to see how we are able to acquire those numbers through Microsoft directly. So in this case, phone numbers. I went to channels. I'm now going to phone numbers. And as you can see, there's nothing connected just yet. If I click on advanced, you can see that I got the Azure Communication Service that is actually connected, right? So there's two ways of doing this. Either I can use this button that says add ACS number from within Dynamics, and it will just do backend calls to the Azure side to acquire them through that, right? So I can say, for example, I want to purchase a number in the Netherlands. You can ask for a toll-free number or a geographical number. Mind, these numbers have different pricing and also different calling per minute costs. So please do check out those prices per, well, the call per minute and the number prices per month before you actually acquire them. And then you can see that in this case, I can't do much, right? So you can see there's not much I can do. I don't have many options here. If I pick another country, let's say the UK, there's a few extra options. Hang on while it loads. There we go. And here you can see that I can actually acquire them, right? Because the Netherlands, I couldn't purchase a number from the Netherlands through this specific portal. But I can acquire a toll-free number or a geographical number. And I can also say, hey, I want to be able to make calls or receive calls with this. And I can even supply a state if that was an option. So this screen is kind of iffy because, as I said, it doesn't allow you with all of the options that you would suspect. So if you walk through this for a country that is supported, all great, good for you. For us, we're just going to do it through the actual Azure portal where we can see all of the buttons and all of the warning signs that come along with it. So I'm going to close this up. I'm going to jump into Azure. And here in Azure, we set up that Azure Communication Service. Let's wait for it to load up. Underneath telephony and SMS, you'll find phone numbers. And here you can see that I can add phone numbers. I can get new phone numbers, acquire new phone numbers, or I can port new phone numbers or even release them. You have 5 numbers available until you request an upgrade that is free, right? It doesn't cost you anything, but Microsoft has a soft limit on a specific number of phone numbers first. That is because I came from that trial environment. So in this case, I can say, hey, I want to get numbers. And here you can see that if I pick the Netherlands, right, I can still say, hey, I also have a mobile option for now. They're out of stock. I can say, hey, I want to have a local number, search. And then you can see instead of not having a button at all, that I can request a special order. So for most countries, you will have to supply proof before you can purchase a number. Proof that you have a residence, proof that you have a business registration, that you're registered at the Chamber of Commerce. So there's regulations per country. So if you want to do that, I can click it and then you can see what you have to do. So there's a number management portal. You can see it's aka.ms/contact TNS and I can click it. That will actually allow me to put a ticket in. So I can say, hey, I want new numbers in the Netherlands on my Azure Communication Service. I can say it is for the Netherlands. I can say it is to actually buy new phone numbers from Microsoft, right? And you can also see here, if you have numbers that you want to port in, that works the same way, right? If we have numbers that I have with a different carrier that I'm allowed to move to the Microsoft infrastructure, I can choose port in, and the same thing goes as we have now. You have to supply all of the rest of the information as well. Fill in your notification emails and fill in what kind of number you want, the number of numbers that you actually want, and then you need to fill in a few details. The Azure subscription ID and the Azure immutable resource ID. And you get this from your JSON in your Azure Communication Service. So let's jump back. Let's go to that Azure Communication Service, go to the overview. Yes, it is the overview, and then go to JSON view on the right top side. You will find both the subscription ID, and you will find the immutable resource ID. So Microsoft shows you that in this picture, it is this specific part. That is the subscription ID, and this is the immutable resource ID. So type that in, put it in here. Say I want a person making calls or sending SMS. I want to do inbound and outbound calling. What kind of province and city do you want? Mind, if you get a geographical number, they will try to match it to your state or your province or your city if that is needed. And if they require additional documentation, you can upload that here. Now, I'm not going to do this right now. Mind that if you put this in, it takes a day or two before you actually get it. They're really fast. So it is very, very okay, but it takes them a day or so. If you put in a porting number, you will actually get an email saying, hey, when do you want to port it? And what is the best time, etc. You have to supply consent forms, etc. They are really helpful. Right? So it is smooth sailing. It just takes an extra step. So I'm going to actually not do a phone order, but I'm going to get a number, for example, from the UK, because from the UK, I don't need any additional proof. I don't need to put in a special order, right? So let me pick the UK. I can say I want to have a local number. And here you can see that, let me filter on, I want to make and receive calls. So in this case, I can just pick a number out of the pool of numbers that Microsoft has. Again, if you need numbers that are in sequence, like I need 100 numbers that are just all +1 +1 +1, then put in a order through that portal, and you'll be able to get this. If you want a singular number, then obviously this is fine. So I can say, hey, I want to have this specific number. I'll be able to call in and call out. It is now reserved. It will say, hey, it's going to cost you $1 per month. And I can say buy now, and it's going to connect it to my Azure Communication Service instance. Just give it 1 second. There we go. And now I can see that that number is active. So it's active. I can have it. I have it right here. And now the only thing that I have to do is make sure that Dynamics is actually aware that this number has been added on the backend side. So I'm going back to Dynamics. I'm going to Advanced. I'm going to Azure Communication Service, and then there's a big button that says Sync from Azure. And in this case, syncing from Azure will import all of the numbers, right? So click it, wait for a second. I can close this dialog, refresh the screen. There we go. And now the number is ported. So you can see that the carrier is Microsoft. It is a UK number. It can make and receive calls, and it is connected through ACS.